Morning, everybody. Welcome to Left to Center.
Hello out there.
Belgium and Scotland's top-rated podcast.
Wow, thanks to Jill.
Jill downloaded. You downloaded a couple episodes while she was out there, so we should have that.
We're gonna see if you did. If there's 0 in Scotland, we'll know Jill just blew us off for the last 2 weeks.
Did try to watch you live.
Really?
I attempted, yes.
What time was it out there?
There's 6 hours ahead of us.
Oh, yeah?
So it's lunchtime. So we could do it. It's like 1:30.
People can handle us at lunch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's early morning that hurts us.
Welcome back, Jill.
It's hard to put up with our crap at first thing in the morning sometimes, you know?
I see you brought a big bottle of whiskey, Scotch whiskey for the mayor. Take that home. Marissa likes to drink a little Scotch.
Marissa does like to drink Scotch. Is
Beautiful.
it staying in the studio for one of those
No,
episodes?
I think you take that back with you.
Single malt Scotch whiskey.
From Scotland.
Yeah, man. Is this good stuff?
I have no idea.
I don't drink Scotch either.
I don't like whiskey.
I don't drink. Marissa does. I mean, she drinks a lot of it, too.
For those of you
She's got issues. No, I'm just kidding. No, she does like Scotch stuff.
Yeah, she's a connoisseur of Scotch. Right?
Do you drink Scotch?
I will drink it, but I prefer bourbon.
Huh.
I mean, I'll drink Scotch. It just tastes a little more. I think Scotch tastes to me a little bit more from the what do they call it? Not the marsh,
smoky.
but smoky from the.
Well, that one has a higher peat content than normal stuff.
A higher what?
Peat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why it smells smoky or tastes smoky. Yeah, it's got definitely that.
I don't
peaty.
think bourbon is aged as long as Scotch.
I would probably
whiskeys
agree with
either.
that. Yeah, that's probably true. Just corn mash, some dudes in Kentucky versus some smart people in Scotland. How about some photos? Real quick, throw those up for those that are watching or
for those that are watching live
on Meta.
For those,
oh hey, we doubled. We got 42 people now.
Yeah, no one shared the stream. No one wants to share the stream, guys.
Share the stream, everyone.
It's all right. Let's just do the show.
There's some photos from Scotland.
It's like
you got stopped by a train.
Yeah, in Munster, going the wrong way, which is weird because I took the tunnel.
Oh,
because that's the way I was going because Calumet's all jacked up.
Right.
So I took the tunnel coming from the other way, and then I got stopped from a train. Like I was doing the reverse commute. So,
that's weird.
Yeah, weird. But anyway,
so you know where there's no trains, there's Scotland photos.
Yeah,
check that out.
Whoa,
very cool. Look at those. Flipping through them.
How was the weather?
It was like in the 50s.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Like sweater hat weather. A lot of castles. I pulled into Scotland when I was in the Navy.
How was that trip?
It was cool. I went to a bar. Yeah.
Is that like a typical
got wasted, went back to the sub.
I was going to ask you, like, what's the when you do that, when you pull into port, like in Europe, what's the time?
Well, like we had one day there, and 1/3 of our ship had to stay on duty. So I got lucky enough where I wasn't one of the 1/3 that had to stay on the ship. So we went ashore at Holylock, and we had to take a dinghy off the sub to the base or to the dock, and then we walked to the nearest bar and got wasted. And then went back to the sub. That was my trip.
It's your trip to Scotland.
That was, but I went to Scotland. Yeah,
probably a pretty typical experience.
Yeah, it was fun though. I mean, everybody was really nice to us, and
that's awesome.
Yeah, the girls liked us.
Sure,
American sailors are always popular with.
How can you not be?
The local ladies, you know.
Yeah,
I wasn't because I looked like I was a mix between a kid and an adult still going through puberty, and like I had pimples on my face, and I talked a little higher. So yeah, I was not smooth with the ladies.
Went to the bar instead.
Was not smooth with the ladies at all.
I was going to drink.
Yeah, I just got drunk. Yeah, but Scotland was a blast. Yeah,
you're a bit of a photog, Jill.
I am.
Yeah, those are really good.
Very
photos.
nice.
Very cool.
Those are nice. Yeah,
John, how was your trip?
It was great.
Tom went to Boyne.
Quite as far as Scotland, but still beautiful.
You went
Probably
to
about the same weather.
Yeah. God, it was so gorgeous. Yeah.
What's up, Steve?
Steve Kellogg, our business manager.
What the heck? What is going on?
Better get official.
Hey, so you went to Boyne, John?
Yeah, Boyne.
Hey, did your parents stay in my room?
No. What's your room number? Don't
160.
say that live.
What's that? 168, 170?
No, 160.
Get out, man. They're right. They're
like right next to the pool. It was great.
Yeah, I know exactly.
John, I didn't know your folks went too. It was like a family getaway.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, 168, 170.
Yeah. Went to Petoskey, went to Boyne City.
I saw some ads about Petoskey, like on billboards. They're really pumping it up.
And the Times did like something about Petoskey.
Yes,
I
saw that.
Like what? Just a random. Let's pick Petoskey.
No, they do stuff like that.
Northern Michigan.
They do like one tank trips. They call them, where you could like, and technically as a one tank trip, that's a drive. I mean, to Petoskey is 5 hours plus.
One tank.
Mm-hmm. It is one tank. You know, you can get there. My gas guzzler, I can get there, and then I'll probably refuel and come back. So
yeah.
I hate to say something so like a typical that everybody says this time of year, but how are the fall colors up there, John?
Incredible. It was like we just randomly, it was perfect. That weekend was perfect.
I have a place up there and I'm rolling my eyes. Like,
Why?
who does that? Goes to watch trees.
I
John,
love
go out there and
I
just ski.
love making that drive and you
Go
see all
ski.
the.
Well, I didn't
Yeah,
go
that's
to
fine.
watch.
He
Can't
went
ski in
there to watch.
October.
He went there to watch the damn trees.
Didn't
What's
go there
wrong
to
with
watch
that?
trees, but I just got
John,
lucky
what
that
do
the
you
trees
do?
were beautiful.
Okay, yeah, look at
during
that.
You
Oh,
took
yeah,
in the
gorgeous.
beautiful
okay, now
fall
what do we do?
colors.
Honestly, I would have lasted about 10 seconds.
Well, he's not like watching.
Like, we're
the
here
trees.
literally
You're
to
just
watch
driving.
trees.
You're driving
No,
5
when you're
hours north.
And then when
Really?
you drive to Petoskey, there's trees on the way.
What the hell do you do?
We went.
after
We
a while,
took
though?
Prudence for a walk. It was beautiful.
Like, okay, no, that's better.
Yeah.
They have a new bike trail from Boyne to Boyne City. Did you take that?
No, didn't even
What's
know
up?
about it. Thanks, Tom.
Did you hit the weed store on the way there or anything? Like, John was like, yes. That's a weird
comment.
thing where I'm his boss.
he's
He's like,
looking at the
no.
trees.
What weed store?
What weed store?
Man, you're gonna have to pee in a cup later.
Oh, yeah. Too late.
Welcome back to our.
Why do you think
producer
Steve's
and
here?
Jill. Yeah.
Steve's got a cup.
Steve's right behind John.
Thank you, Steve.
I hear I missed a big Halloween party. By the way, is that right?
Yeah,
here?
I missed it too.
There's a
Oh,
lot
did
of-
you?
I didn't go.
There are a lot of people in
Because I'm the
costumes.
boss, dude. Nothing worse than having a party where everybody's drinking and your boss shows up.
Oh, because then they won't dance and have fun.
Well, no, it was just a different element, man.
Mm-hmm.
I talked to the chief of police. He said the same thing. He's like, "Do you go to these things?" I'm like, "Dude, like, have you ever seen me dressed up in a Halloween outfit?" He goes, "No." So there
Aside
you
from
go.
219 Day?
Yeah, that's Super Mayor. It's different. I could have gone as
different.
Super Mayor.
You
That's
could
what-
have.
I should have actually,
Well.
but it would have still. Super Mayor does. Everybody like lowers their guard when Super Mayor shows up
That's probably true.
because he's
on
obnoxious.
219 day.
He's obnoxious and drinking more usually than the people
tatted
around him.
up.
Yeah. But Super Mayor was not in. I was not in the mood to.
Be super mayor on the 30th.
But it is a buzzkill when a mayor shows up to a party. If
Yeah,
you're
I
out there
can
having a
see
good
that.
time and you're dressed up in a sexually themed costume, and then I'm like, "Hey, I'm the mayor. I'm your boss. How's it going?" Everybody's
They're
like,
Like Steve, he was
Yeah.
usually always.
"Oh,
in a
great, my
sexually
boss is
themed
here."
the
costume.
music. You have that like scratching of the of the record.
"Yeah."
Were you there, Kevin?
I stopped by.
Wow. Did you dress
Brought
up?
Ethan. I did.
As what?
Credit to John Cantrell on this costume, but I was only there a little bit, so I didn't go full out.
He was a lawyer.
I had a black T-shirt with 3 strips of bacon on it. Any guesses?
What is?
Kevin
No.
Bacon.
Kevin Bacon?
Did people guess that?
That's great.
One person.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Everybody else is like, "You really like bacon, huh?"
Yeah. I guess Kevin came as a strip of bacon,
Yeah.
but it's just a T-shirt with a
Kevin
lame
came
costume.
he came as like a pan with bacon frying.
So thank you to Eva for getting me the T-shirt, and thank you to John Cantrell for the quick idea.
Nice.
So check this out. So yesterday I get to our pre-show location, and Kevin's running a little late, but I knew I was going to get there before him. So I'm sitting there like typing up, a show, basically a script. We have like a loose script that we go by every show, and it takes hour and a half to prepare, right?
Yeah, I wasn't running late. You just came early.
So anyway, I'm there last night, and I start up the show script, and I'm like typing away, like being a diligent podcaster, professional, like getting there, like, "Hey, I got it. Don't worry, I'll lay it out, and then
You're
we'll
in
talk
the
about
biz.
it." And while I'm
In the
doing, I
biz.
am in the biz, right? So while I'm doing it, I'm getting freaking corrected on the same thing I'm sharing. Like my words are disappearing, and there's Kevin retyping over the top of me.
There were some typos.
Because it's a.
But
it's-
I'm
Oh,
like,
that's
it's my
definitely-
freaking script. I'm sitting there, and he's like changing it while I'm typing. And I'm like, this is bullshit, by the way. I'm actually here showing up, working, and Kevin is literally like,
I was working too, just at a different location.
but you were supposed to be with me. A.
True.
B, I don't need that shit where I'm getting like corrected in real time.
There
while
were
I'm-
facts that were wrong.
I know, but I knew what I was going to say. I was like laying stuff out, like for notes for me. And Kevin's like, no, technically, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm like, get your ass over here to correct me. You can type it up yourself. I'm like, screw this.
I
I'm just
showed
going-
up and we had a very productive.
I'm like, there's nothing more annoying than like while I'm trying to be a diligent professional, getting corrected when you're not even
It
there.
wasn't like it was the same line. Like you were at a
It
different
was the
part.
same thing I was working on. I would like type in a sentence and my sentence would disappear and it'd be
All
reworded.
right,
I'm
I'll
like,
be
this.
careful. I'll
Yeah.
be careful not
So
to.
you have this shared note.
Yeah.
I thought you liked. I think you're pro
And
shirt.
everyone-
I
can
would
edit it in
rather
real
us be
time.
there. Yeah, he's correcting me in real time, dude. It's annoying.
Like, grammar or what?
No,
everything, dude. I
no,
would lay it
was
out, and he
not
would like
grammar.
change everything. And like,
That's not true.
in front of my eyes. I'm sitting there. I
Not
take one
true.
drink of my drink, and I look, and my whole paragraph's gone, and it's being retyped.
It was someone's name that he had wrong. Okay,
It would have been better if you were
sure.
there. Change like, hey, do
Fair
this.
enough.
I would have been like, no
Fair
problem,
enough.
Kevin. Tick, 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 right? Kevin's sitting there when he should be with me, correcting me while he should be sitting there
From
physically.
afar.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
It's kind of a slap in the face. I think.
kind
Not
of,
really.
yeah,
no,
I
it's
think
just
so.
editors are important.
So anyway, yeah, that was yesterday.
That happened.
That was annoying.
By the way,
I got my what?
Go ahead.
I got a booster yesterday. My boost.
And?
I got boosted.
How you feeling?
That's why you're grumpy.
No.
No, that's
John's,
the train.
John's trying to find a way to
I know.
make it bad.
Right.
There's got to be something wrong with
He's
this
grumpy
booster.
because of the booster.
Yeah, I do have a third nipple though. It's weird. I didn't have one yesterday.
How do you like that?
It's
Nice.
hairy too. It's
Oh,
weird.
God.
It came in like full of hair.
Stop.
Yeah.
How was the booster? You feeling all right?
I didn't even feel it. I'll be honest with you. I feel it in my shoulder today, but I'm determined I am not going to get sick.
I think both of my shots, I didn't feel. You don't feel it going. You don't feel it at all going in.
I did not feel it at all. It was a
That's
little,
what,
really thin needle. But like, I'll be honest with you, I'm like determined not to get sick. I think that the people are getting sick after it are like susceptible mentally, and I'm refusing.
You're just trying to go after
I'm
Marissa.
I am trying to
I know
get
you are.
after Marissa.
You're like, she's listening.
Like, I think if you're mentally strong, you can get over it.
I think she's physically stronger. That's
Oh,
why
yeah?
she
We'll
got
see.
sick because her
We'll
body's
see.
fighting it
Oh,
off.
really? That's one way to look
Uh-huh.
at it. The other way is like
I'm on Marissa's
you go
side.
in with like things in your brain saying you're going to get sick. I went in with things in my brain saying
Psychosomatic.
I'm going to be fine. I'm going to get through this like a champ, and I'm going to be an inspiration to people around Indiana.
What about those that
to
get
their
so
booster.
nervous to get their vaccine? They're like, this could kill me. They don't.
But
die.
like what I'm saying is, look at me. I got 3 of those shots, and I'm fine.
You're
Other than the third nipple.
amazing physical specimen.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, everybody could use an extra nipple. Even though nipples for guys really, I don't know what the purpose
I
is.
don't know where you came up with this.
It's like hanging a picture in your office.
This
What
was
is the
part.
purpose?
This was the part of the pre-show that I deleted. When you put third nipple, I just kept deleting it. You kept putting it back in, John, on the note.
So anyway, yeah, I got my booster yesterday.
Good.
I feel
I gotta get
superhuman
mine.
now.
Yeah, you are.
I do. It was super easy to get, by the way. I mean, Eva did it, to be honest, but like it was really easy. I was like yesterday because I was thinking, well, if I do get sick, I have an easy schedule today and yesterday and today, so I'm like, this is the day to get it.
You want to give a shout out where you went?
I went to North Shore Health Clinic on 165th and Hammond. Gorgeous facility, super easy. I think Eva used myshot.org. It says Indiana.
Right, which is the Indiana
Shot.
scheduler.
Yeah, scheduler. And they give you the location nearest to you. And we literally made the appointment at like 9 o'clock, and I was in there at 11:15 getting a shot.
I'm going to do mine today.
2 hours. And the shot was easy. I was in there. I had to wait 10 minutes after the shot. I was in and out in a half hour. It was really, really easy. Of course, I didn't have to pay. I didn't have to give information for insurance. Nothing. I walk in, gave my ID, showed him my card, walked in the office, bing, shot in the arm, wait 10 minutes, went home. Like, it was really, really simple. So
I want to make sure.
I urge everybody to get vaccinated to protect yourself from this disease. People are still dying as we speak. So speaking of, I had a mentor of mine pass away, unfortunately, this week. I wanted to recognize him for a second. He was Father David Link of University of Notre Dame, previously of the Notre Dame Law School. Father Link, he was Dean Link when I was at law school, was Marissa and my dean. He was never a priest. He was married, actually, and when his wife Barbara passed away, probably over a decade ago. No, I guess it was a couple decades ago. It was in 2003 when his wife Barbara passes away, and he was a deacon at that time. And you have an option if you're a deacon when your spouse passes away, when your wife passes away, to become a priest, and he did.
Wow.
He became ordained, became Father Link. And
Still at the law school, though?
No, he ended up at Michigan City Prison, where he would advise death row inmates.
Oh, wow.
He'd literally like go into the cell with people condemned to death, and he would talk to them. And I tell you, Father Link was a great person. Like, he was really an inspiration. Him and I got close later in his life. Him and Marissa are close as well. He attended Marissa's inauguration.
Oh, nice.
She was,
I remember seeing him there. That's right.
I ran into him a couple times at football games. He remembered me because I'll never forget this. He did the best thing he could do for me when I was in law school, because I was already doubting. I was scared to death going to Notre Dame. You know, I was accepted to go to Valpo. I had a scholarship. I had an apartment picked, and I literally got accepted to Notre Dame about 2 weeks before classes start. And it was so far along, I almost turned it down just because I was like, what? Like, I got my apartment in Valpo. I got everything picked. I'm like lined up to go to Valpo, and then Notre Dame's like, hey, we had an extra spot if you want in.
Wow.
I'm literally like the last person to accepted in the law school class, right? So I was like, whatever. And then my dad's like, you really got to go take a look. And I was like, okay. So I drove out to Notre Dame. And of course, I loved Notre Dame. I've loved it my whole life. And I was just like, and then I talked to some people, and they're like, yeah, you have to give us your decision by Monday. So I remember I called my dad, and he's like, Tom, it's Notre Dame. Like, you got to go. And I was like, well, how am I going to pay for it? And I was worried about how to provide for my family and all that. And basically, I accepted, as everybody knows, because I ended up graduating from Notre Dame Law School. But the weird thing is, literally a week after I made that decision, I met Marissa. She was the first person.
Fateful.
Yeah, but the Father Link connection was Father Link.
And at that point, he was
dean of the law school, right? And he knew exactly who I was because he was literally the person that made me the offer. Okay, so I go in to talk to Dean Link on like on the first day of school, first or second, and I'm already like in my head nervous as hell, right? And he pulls me into his office. He knew all about me. He knew all about my background. He literally was the one that made the offer to me, and he was like, "Don't let me down." Like, I put my name on the line.
Whoa.
There's a lot of people that don't think you're gonna make it through this school. He knew all about me, and he knew about I had a really great GPA, but my LSAT wasn't where a typical Notre Dame student's LSAT was. And he was literally like, "You're not, if you don't work hard, you're not going to make it through here, son." Like,
probably true and very true.
He scared the crap out of me, honestly. Yeah. And that's, by the way, I was already scared enough. So, like, he just reemphasized my fear. And I spent my entire first year studying and reading. I literally, like, had the daylight scared out of me.
Sounds like law school to me.
But, like, my first year of law school, ask Marissa, I was the dorkiest of the dorks. Like, I worked harder than almost anybody I know. I mean, because all my friends were brilliant. And still are, right? And I'm not brilliant like that. Like, literally was around brilliant people, and they would literally go to a class, listen to a lecture, and they would just have it. And I'm like the guy that had to go home and read about it for 3 more hours before I would get it, right? So, like, I would sit there and see what my coworker, my fellow students were doing to prepare, and I knew what I had to do to prepare, and it was night and day. I literally would get home at 4, work out, and study till 10 p.m. I did that pretty much every night for 2 years. And my third year, I started slacking off a little.
Did you see Dean Link throughout your 3 years there?
Well, yeah, he was. I made it. I was actually 3.1 GPA, so I did fine. I wasn't top of my class, but there was a lot of people. There was probably 2/3 of the class below me. So he was super proud of me. He was dean when I graduated, and then when I became mayor, I think that's the first time him and I started running into each other in a different capacity, and you could just tell he knew
he
exactly.
Had to be proud of you.
He knew exactly who I was. He knew exactly what I was doing, and then he ended up taking a position close to us in Michigan City when we became even closer. So over the years, I would run into him quite often, actually. And like I said, him and Marissa are real close. He swore her in, and anyway,
we're sorry to hear his passing.
He passed. He was a wonderful person. I'm going to miss him a lot, and I know that a lot of my co-students feel the same way. He's just an inspirational person. So,
all right, Dean Link.
God bless.
Let's do some ads, and we will come back for a mailbag.
Sure, let's do it. First off, we didn't start off our show with Powering America. Let's go ahead and do that. Season 4 is powered by our premier sponsor, Powering America. With the explosive growth of renewable energy in America today, call Powering America to meet your needs. For renewable energy in your home or office, including electric vehicle chargers and solar power solutions, trust the electrical professionals of Powering America. That's right, Powering America. Visit poweringnorthwestindiana.org. That's poweringnorthwestindiana.org.
Pow. Calumet Brewery wants to tell you about Michelob Ultra. Michelob Ultra is a superior light beer with only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories, all while being one of the fastest growing brands in the region. Or try Ultra Pure Gold, an organic light lager with only 2.5 carbs and 85 calories, brewed for your healthy lifestyle. Enter to win a Michelob Ultra golf bag through calbrew.com. Check out Calumet Brewery's Facebook page for details.
Tortillas Nuevo Leon. Tortillas Nuevo Leon is the gold standard of Mexican cuisine throughout the Midwest. Look for Tortillas Nuevo Leon's popular red and white label at your local grocery store and enjoy quality Mexican products made with local expertise.
Tortillas Nuevo León, hechas con amor, para ti y tu familia de todo corazón. Tortillas Nuevo León, hechas con amor, para ti y tu familia de todo corazón.
Misprint Printing specializes in delivering the highest quality signs and printing on time and within budget. Misprint's experience and technology allows them to offer custom, commercial, and on-demand printing and sign solutions you can count on. Rick Baltzenberger and his team have served Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana for over 30 years. 2 convenient locations in Munster and Hammond. Misprint Printing.
Sorry, Byway Brewery. Hey, by the way, we have Dave Toth coming on from Byway Brewing in about 10 minutes. So for those of you that are interested in brewing and Byway Brewing in particular, it's going to be an interesting segment. And speaking of, Byway Brewing is a family-friendly microbrewery with a spacious tap room and an outside patio. Brewing equipment offers a unique backdrop for your private event, like weddings, reunions, and corporate parties. We are conveniently located just off of 8094 at the Kennedy Avenue South exit. Come on by and enjoy Byway's award-winning beers and unbeatable menu.
Thanks to our sponsors.
All right, we got some mailbag this morning.
You know, I want to, before I forget, because we forgot 2 shows in a row, you ran into a super fan. At,
Laura?
Yes.
It's her birthday, isn't it?
Sunday. Happy birthday, Laura.
Happy birthday, Laura. Look at that. We got a picture of Laura and I.
At the Lake County Annual Democratic Dinner where you spoke.
A lot of donkeys in
Look
that
at those
picture.
donkeys. All right. Happy birthday, Laura. Nice to
Thanks,
see
Laura, for being a super fan, and thanks for watching every show, literally watching every show, and happy birthday, Laura.
And being active in the chat.
Yeah.
And thank you for hating on Phil all
I was
the
going to
time.
say, and also for hating on Phil.
Well, we need somebody to hit on Phil.
Yeah,
Just
without
keep
a
it in place,
doubt.
right?
Keep it going, Laura.
Hey, Jill, are you back on the time zone yet?
I'm close.
Really? I think, actually, I always say, I think it's harder to go to Europe than it is to come from Europe back home, because there's a thought behind this. Because when I travel west to east, it seems like it's harder on the body than it is east to west. Do you agree with that?
I mean, I think I was up at like 1 this morning,
Oh, wow.
but
Right.
I'm good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
West to east.
west to east.
So going there would be tougher.
Because when you come back, there's something I don't remember the thinking behind it, but I know coming back from China was brutal, and going there, I was tired all the time too. But that's literally flipping.
But
the clock.
I was going to say that's
12
flipping the
hours.
clock, 12 hours. Yep.
Yeah,
exactly.
it's literally like
You can't
flipping the clock.
All right.
Did you know China's on one time zone?
Whoa.
Really?
Big ass
Didn't know
country,
that.
right?
Wow.
The whole country is on one time zone.
I'm pretty sure I'm right on this. It's all set to
All right,
Beijing.
chat.
Check it
Test out the mayor.
Man,
I
they
could
just
be
do
That, I
whatever
did
they
not
want
know
over
that.
there.
Well, no, it's
We're
like
gonna be
the
on
center
one
of the
time
world
zone.
for them. The center of the world for them is Beijing.
Without a
so
doubt.
like they
Yeah.
set their clocks according to Beijing's time.
Wow.
Yeah.
The whole country.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I'm pretty
I did
sure
not
I'm
know
right.
that.
Check that out, would you? Somebody? I could be
Yeah.
full of
Somebody
crap,
on
but I'm
chat
pretty
will.
sure I'm right on that.
I believe
Yes,
you.
one time
Thanks,
zone.
Jill.
Yes, it's on
really?
the chat. Yeah.
See, thanks, chat. Chat knows everything. The chat is better than Google.
It is pretty close.
It really is.
We have our own Google. We
Thank
don't
you,
have to
chat.
type anything in.
Yeah, we just say chat. Is that right? That's why we have chat, which is great.
Pete
So,
Vuletic.
Yes.
thank you, Pete.
all over it.
Thank you, Pete.
Well,
Pete
then,
is
you know
saying
what I
hi.
wonder though? Is Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia, or Kampuchea, whatever
They
it's
have
called
their own
now.
time zone.
Do they have their own? Is it same
Yeah.
as China?
No,
Huh.
they have their
All
own.
right.
It's a separate country.
I know, but I was just wondering. It's right borders hit. North Korea is the
Right.
same time zone as Korea. Is Korea the same as China time zone? I don't know the answer to this.
We
That's
should check
crazy.
it out.
I'm going to check it
Depending
out
on where you live in China, it's getting dark after lunch.
Yeah, dude.
because it's so big.
Because of
That's
the
Dude,
smog.
think about it. When you
It's
get
just
way
because
out
of the
there,
smog.
God, dude, it's crazy.
Wow. All right. Let's
Mailbag.
do mailbag. John.
Mailbag.
You should just take
See,
that, dude.
Isn't that nice?
Because sometimes you just mail it in. You're like in a bad mood or
Mail
something.
in the mailbag.
No, but that was
He
probably
does.
the best one yet.
That was
and I
popping.
think
It was-
you
it
get a
was a
little
lot of
rest
pops.
in Boyne,
But-
and you're looking at trees, and you come back refreshed.
Yeah.
I thought I heard you lick your lips before
Your
you did.
lips
I
are
did.
popping.
See, I heard it.
When you come back from
took a-
Boyne, your
you
lips
took
are
a
nice
drink.
and moist.
The lips are popping, John.
Yeah. Good job with those popping lips.
Thank you. Thank you.
This was from Leslie. I am a 76-year-old Republican
Oh, that's nice.
that wants to clean house of our current senators.
Amen.
Amen to Leslie.
I do not see any strong Republican candidates, but I might want to work for you. Trump supporters disgust me.
Oh,
Can you send me any published info about your positions on general government policies and things you personally have strong feelings about? I am not pushing for any agenda, but want the United States to be better in education as an example. You can count on me you cannot count on me for money, but my home sits on a commercially zoned piece of property on the east side of Indy on US 40.
Oh,
I can reach a lot of people with a sign based on what the laws will allow. I actually did not see your name in the registered list of candidates, but heard you were considering a run. I would give you your campaign help in Indy should I feel good about supporting you.
Very nice, Leslie.
That's very nice.
Well, I mean, crossover votes are going to be important.
That's
That's
if I'm
your-
going to win, that's how
Right.
I'm going to win. Is I'm going to win with people that previously voted Republican and now consider going to Democrat, or people that used to vote Democrat and then started voting Republican, get them to swing back. People like union members and
Right.
soft Republicans,
Yeah.
like Republicans like my dad, who are disgusted by Trump and what Trump's done to the party, and they'd be open-minded to consider it a moderate candidate. That's how I'm going to win.
That's right.
If I'm going to be successful. And Todd Young has stapled himself right to the pant
Like a
coats
lot
of
of
the orange
Republicans
president. So.
Yeah. We'll see what happens.
I got 3 letters real quick. I'm going to read them. They're all basically about the same topic, so I decided to throw them in. We have a program in Hammond that we've been doing for every year I've been mayor where we send $500 checks to senior and disabled people in our city to help them pay their property taxes.
So they have to qualify,
right?
Both with income and age,
right? And they have to
or
actually
disability.
be senior or legally disabled, and they have to qualify. They have to be, on basically a fixed income. So,
and where do you get that money?
We get it through gaming.
So it's
it costs
casino
us
money that you.
The Hammond Council and I prioritize it. It's about $1 million a year to do this program. It's a great program, and we get lovely letters like this one, for instance. Thank you. This is a short one. My husband died in December 8th of 20.
Oh.
This will help with property tax payments. Thank you very much. Okay,
Very
that's
nice.
from Mary Ann. This is from Edward and Janice. Edward and Janice, thank you, Mayor, for the $500 check. We greatly appreciate it. And last is Dear Mayor and Hammond Council, thank you so much for the wonderful surprise I received in the mail yesterday. It couldn't have come at a better time for me with some unexpected expenses that came up this month. I will continue to be a Hammond resident proudly and continue to support all your elections and efforts. Thanks again, and with my dearest sincerity. Best regards, Christine. So,
Oh, nice. It's nice to get those. And they take
super
the time
nice.
to write you.
The seniors are always super sweet. I've noticed that. The seniors send a lot of letters. And this program gets the most. I get a lot from College Bound also, but this program definitely gives us the most nice letters.
Helps them out.
So congratulations to the people that were helped, and that's the purpose of the program. There's people that have been in their house for generations, and we had a property tax crisis early in my administration, and we came up with this program because seniors were literally being priced out of their homes. They couldn't afford their property tax payment
Scary,
jumps.
right?
So we decided to help them with this program, and it's wonderful. And a lot of seniors are, if they lost a spouse, that's typically when they would lose the house. And there's a lot of widows and widowers that are allowed to stay in their house because of this program. So
It's great.
yeah, I love it. We don't have a big senior audience on the podcast, I imagine, but this is a great program.
Maybe they're
for
all
them.
subscribing.
Well, I think that's one of the things about podcasts is you do sort of not talk to the senior audience.
Yeah, because they're used to tuning into terrestrial, or they're not that technologically.
Right. My dad could
Somehow.
never figure out how to download this. No doubt in my mind. Honestly, though, I mean, with your mom
No.
your mom does listen.
My mom does
Through
but
Facebook.
there's no way my dad. Can
My
figure it
mom
out.
listens through Facebook.
Yep.
Right, but there's no way my dad.
No, my dad wouldn't be able to figure.
I
this
would
out.
love.
He's still
if
got
your
a flip
dad
phone.
Just got in the chat right now. Was like, I am listening, son.
Nope.
Not happening.
Nope.
Not happening.
Nope. That's not gonna happen, dude. My dad had he went through this thing a few years ago where he was talking about running for office again. And I'm like, Dad, first off, I will quit if you do that. Because
Like
that's
against
not
you?
going to work.
You're not
No, but just having a McDermott Republican running and McDermott Democrat, I'm like, I'll quit. Like, if you really want to resurrect your career in your mid-70s, I'm going to freaking quit mine because you're knocking me out of my, my professional career. Because there's no way our family's going to be able to pull this off with any credibility. And I'm like, one of the things I was pointing out to him is you don't use email. You don't really know how to work your cell phone. You don't use social media
These are
at
all
all.
positives for the campaign.
No, I'm just like pointing out the obvious. Like shit has changed since you left, Dad. There's these things called social media, and that's a big part of being a mayor, or a big part of being an elected official. And if you don't even have a Facebook page, I mean, like you don't even know how to use it or what to do with it. Like you should probably learn these things if you're going to get back into this career where that's a big part of who it is now and what's about. I mean, how many politicians?
That
don't
was
have,
the end of that campaign.
but it's the truth, and I was,
well, it all worked out.
There are seniors in the chat now.
Yeah, they're not happy.
Really?
No.
No.
Wow.
I said, I
said-
beg your pardon. I'm 75. LOL.
Thank you,
love it.
thank you, thank you.
Jim Wolf.
Jim Wolf.
Jim Wolf.
And by the way,
Jim
Jim Wolf
Wolf,
is
you-
very technologically
Yeah, that's what I'm
astute.
saying. So we're talking about a guy like Jim that's super technologically advanced, but I think we took a hit with our senior audience when we went to podcasting. I mean, you can't back me up on that, Kevin?
I would
Or
agree with
Jill
you.
or-
Yeah, no, for sure. Because a lot of them
I
just
would
tune
think
into
so.
WMCD
Right.
like they always did.
That's right.
And they like AM radio.
Right.
Which is fine.
That's right.
We miss you. Come back.
Mm-hmm.
Figure out how to work your phone.
Well,
They can't hear you.
No, they can't.
because they're not listening, right?
I mean, my dad has a flip phone. He probably couldn't.
That's
couldn't
what I'm
even
saying.
Get that.
He couldn't get the
literally
podcast
will not
on his
get
flip
rid of
phone,
it.
right?
No, he can't. He won't get
That's
rid
what
of
I'm
it.
saying. So, like, a big part of our audience that used to be listeners, the seniors, have not been able to listen to Lockpod, for better or for worse, by the way. Hey, by the way, Lockpod, I love it when we make the news. We made the news again this week. And
Yes.
thank you. By the way, thank you to seniors like Jim Wolf and everybody that did make the transition. We appreciate you. I wasn't trying to be disrespectful. I was just trying to point out that I think that's where we're lacking as far
Many
as
seniors may have fell off.
I think a large percentage of our senior audience fell off, and haven't been listening. That's all I was trying to say. So, and I appreciate Mr. Wolf and all the other seniors that do listen to us. So, like my mom, like my mother-in-law. There are seniors listening, obviously. So, anyway, Lockpod in the news. I got quoted word for word, which is
from Lockpod.
Yeah, it's sort of like, I don't know. It's scary to me. I thought this was my safe zone.
No,
it's not.
You've learned that over and over.
But
I literally, you heard that on Lockpod?
I'm like, dude, I was on the podcast. You're gonna quote me for that? Yeah, word for word, even like my pauses.
How could you think that this wasn't?
Even
like, how could you think this is my safe zone?
Like it's because like we come in here on some shows, we don't have a huge audience, like live audience, right?
Okay.
And then what I don't realize, because we don't really talk about our stats very often, is how many people are listening on the download now.
Many do.
Way more people are listening on the download now than they are on the live audience. The live audience is great for chat reasons. It's our Google, right?
I like it.
I love that live audience.
Love the chat.
The live audience, like, it's like if you're playing in a band. I use this analogy often, and you go out and you play in front of a live audience of 75 to 125 people. That's badass, right? But if 500 people listen to the download after you got done playing in front of that, so you're playing live to the audience, and the audience gives you great feedback, and it makes you more excited about playing. But really, your main audience is listening on the download afterwards.
Yeah, and that's the exciting thing about the pod is it seems like our subscription audience just keeps growing, which is very cool.
I think it's only going to get larger. Even there's tons of people that listen just waiting for me to fuck up.
That's
know?
right.
So, they're sitting there right now.
I'm writing this down.
Yeah, like Dan the Tracker.
Yeah, they're all out there.
Yeah.
But we did make the news.
Yeah.
Which was good news.
What were you going to say?
It's like a time thing, right? A convenience. Like not everyone can tune in at 7:30 Tuesday and Friday live.
That's what's awesome about subscribing, right?
That's why I think, honestly, like I listen. Well, I'm here live, right? But
you are.
But I don't really listen on Facebook anymore. I used to listen to Facebook after I wait for the podcast to download, and sometimes it downloads real quick. Like the other day, John, it downloaded at like 10 o'clock.
I had to get to Boyne.
Which makes me scratch my head.
It's all about John's schedule, by the way. If you haven't noticed,
it makes me scratch my head. Like some days it's like 7 p.m. It doesn't download.
John had a busy day.
I know. I think John should be more diligent about that without saying anything. I'm just pointing these things out, and it's available at 10 a.m. That's awesome.
If you're a subscriber and you get this right away, you'll know John was like,
John
had something to do in the
he's got
afternoon, but he had free time in the morning.
I'm either getting on a plane or I had to drive to Boyne. But I think I set the bar too high that first episode by publishing it the same day. Because now you guys expect it.
Same day?
I think we should get an intern.
That's the high bar?
I think we should get an intern to just download it.
Dude, people record podcasts like a month ago and they're releasing it like today.
People like Conan O'Brien. Like people like Conan O'Brien.
Who have millions
of people. They edit theirs too, by the way. We just put a raw product out. We don't
haven't
edit
even
anything.
asked you to edit it, John.
Yeah. The Joe Rogan approach, man.
Really?
Like, what is there to edit?
That's right. I mean? We go hard.
What did you get quoted on?
I got quoted on. I took some shit over this. Okay. First off, I didn't take any blowback. So I got quoted on. This is on front page. Article got picked up across the state. Imagine that. But
go figure.
I didn't mind the quote. The quote I thought was awesome. This mayor is not interested in the head cases from Chicago coming to the Hammond Police Department.
I love that.
Officers willing to throw their career away over a political issue. I just don't want that. The number one killer of police officers across the country right now is COVID-19.
Who wants the troublemakers?
I agree.
Really want?
So that got quoted. I think that's a good quote. Politically,
Agreed.
I mean, campaign manager feels good about it, right?
I think it's a great quote. I think it showed you where you were on the topic, on the issue.
Okay, well, this is another part of the quote. It was included. McDermott admitted he is no fan of Mayor Lightfoot. He said her political career is toast, and she's not going to get reelected, and added, she's hated in Chicago.
I love it.
Jesus Christ.
But see,
but it says she's dead right on this issue. She's 100% right on the Fraternal Order of Police issue and the vaccination issue because of this. The Chicago residents voted her mayor, McDermott said.
I think that this is funny because I know you, and I know when you say stuff like that, it's because you. I don't want to say always, but sometimes you have like a little bit of an axe to grind against somebody, and you and Lori kind of got into it.
She was sort of a dick to me. So, like, I'm not going to be super nice back. She is not even sort of.
It doesn't surprise me that you said something
she
like
was
that,
a
but
dick,
it had something
right?
to do with a personal encounter.
It was a professional encounter,
Yeah.
thank you, but we had a personal interaction where she was a dick.
Yeah.
Oh, that's definitely going to be the headline.
Was
tomorrow.
it about water?
Yeah, right. Mayor Lightfoot
she
was
accused
a
our
dick.
water of being bad.
What?
She accused our water of being dirty.
Wow.
And this is when we were fighting for Joliet. It was Mayor Lightfoot doing a presentation against the city of Hammond doing a presentation. And I went up to shake her hand, and she was sort of like professional about it. But
Sure.
like she wasn't really nice. By the way, I'm a freaking 18-year mayor. She's a freshman. Granted, It's a big city. I get that. It's the third biggest city in America. But still, I've been doing this a long time, Lori. Like, I know, I think
How
I
about
could,
a little respect?
I think I could do her job. If I lived in Chicago, I think I'd do a far better job than she does, personally. I've had people tell me you should move to Chicago and run because, but like, the thing
Sounds
is,
like an easy thing to do.
no, but I agree. But what I'm saying is, give me some damn respect. I'm a mayor for 18 years. She's in her second year, right? And by all accounts,
Just having a tough time.
yeah, it's not going very well. She got the police in open revolt with her. Crime is out of control. It's spilling over into my city, which pisses me off. I don't think it's a good neighborly thing. I asked her for some help on the LPR issue.
Yes, which are cameras, by the way.
So that our cameras and Illinois cameras would talk back and forth with each
Haven't
other.
gotten a response
No,
yet.
she just
Still
blows us
waiting.
off. It's like, seriously?
I mean,
This
by the
is-
way, hello, staff at the mayor's office in Chicago.
Right.
I mean, what do you do? Just blow off letters from other mayors?
Yeah.
I mean, it's
so
absolutely crazy, frustrating to me.
So there's some things in the background. And then when I get on Lockpod, I don't talk about those other things. I just say, I don't think she's doing a very good job as mayor. She's toast in the next election. I get quoted on it, right? So then I get the super Democrats that are like, Mayor McDermott, you're a Democrat. Stop being an asshole.
Right.
Don't say things like that about fellow Democrats. I got that pushback also yesterday. And I'm not going to identify where I got it, but it's from a Democrat that's very concerned about me taking on other Democrats and pointing out their flaws and being
Look,
honest.
she was the dick to you.
That's what I tried to point out to this person. Okay. I was like, dude, there's more to this. I'm the neighbor to her. I know her. She knows me. We have issues that we're supposed to be working together on, and we're not. By the way, I get along with the alderman way better in Chicago than I get
Oh
along
my
with
God,
the mayor.
Alderwoman
Garza.
is
She's a rock star.
Unbelievable.
She's a rock star. And like, why can't it be like that with the mayor? Like, I'm not saying, I get it, the mayor's super important and the mayor's got a ton of things going on, and I get it, I live in another state, but the fact is, we do share a border. We have very common issues, and like, I just don't get
How about
why.
answering the mayor? How about answering the mayor's letter, Lori?
Right.
Mayor Lori.
How about this? Mayor Emanuel got along fine with Mayor. He knows me, I know
And
him.
he was responsive, by the way.
Yeah,
when we had
dude.
an issue, his office always reached out.
Dude, Mayor Emanuel, I always liked him, and I know that there's a lot of people that didn't. I thought he was an awesome mayor.
His staff was very responsive to you, just as you were whenever he had an issue.
Right. And that's what I was like. I'm not like, I respect Mayor Lightfoot and especially respect her position and how she got there. And she was an outsider trying to come in. But the fact is, I don't really think things are going well in Chicago right now. And it's affecting me in my city because a lot of the problems in Chicago are coming right over into Hammond. So I have a right to feel the way I do about her and about the job she's doing. I mean, I can't vote for or against her, but I have an interest.
And I think you said, look, on this issue, you're right, Mayor. You know, Mayor Lori, you're right on this issue about the vaccines.
I was sort of lost in the discussion because I was saying things like she's toast in the next election. So, and now that story has taken another turn recently. Kevin, could you go through that?
Yeah, yesterday, a Cook County Circuit Court judge, and there's a lot of them, ruled that issued a temporary restraining order about one part of Mayor Lightfoot's vaccine mandate, vaccine order, which was you had to get vaccinated by December 31st. That kind of got lost in our previous discussion and maybe actually most people's discussion about the vaccine mandate. So what they said was you can still keep police off and you can keep them off with no pay if they didn't go into the portal and give their vaccine status. You can still make them test twice a week if they're not vaccinated. But as far as firing them on December 31st, you have to give them at least arbitration.
Right.
So it makes sense, right? The judge is basically saying, look, you can't just fire people. This is a collective bargaining issue. You got to go to arbitration.
Which makes sense.
Makes sense. And the same thing would happen in Indiana, right? Mayor, you could say you're fired.
We wouldn't end up in arbitration. We'd end up in court, though, right?
You'd end up in the Board of Public Safety, and then court.
And then we'd end up in court.
Yeah. So I think that's the thing. And if you see a headline that says, the vaccine mandate was ruled against, that's kind of half-ass, really. Right. I mean, it's more than just the headline. So, and it's interesting.
Once you jump in, you do the first and the third, I'll do the second, and we got Mr. Toth coming in. We'll get ready for the second half of the show.
All right, couple ads, and we're going to talk to Dave Toth from Byway Brewing. Tri Electronics wants to be your complete communications provider. Tri Electronics has been a leader in this industry for more than 55 years. They're dedicated to assisting their clients with their systems integration needs. They have the expertise and experience to provide superior results for a wide variety of projects. For more information, call Tri Electronics today at 800-722-6793.
Grisolius Concrete. Grisolius Concrete was voted number 1 in the Times Best of the Region in 2020 and in 2021. Grisolius Concrete specializes in all of your concrete projects, and they have been using the original cement finish in the California style since 1972 and also offer stamped and colored concrete. For more information or a project quote, call Grisolius Concrete at 219-659-4127.
At Midwest Air Duct Cleaning, your health is our number one priority. They're dedicated to providing top-notch quality services at an affordable price. Their technicians have been trained to shelter the members of your household from potential airborne contaminants. If you'd like more information on how to protect the lungs of your home, call Marinko and his team at 219-671-8868 today. That's Midwest Air Duct Cleaning. Thank you to all of our sponsors, including our premier sponsor, Powering America.
That's right. Hey, Dave, how's it going?
Morning, Tom. Morning, Kevin. Thanks for having me
Dave
on.
Toth in the house.
Byway Brewing, the founder, right?
Perhaps we've got two really good partners, but I was the home brewer back in the day,
Really?
along with some buddies of mine.
I
and
just
that's
figured
kind of
brewers
where-
like slept in. Is this early for you? If you're just drinking beer all night and making it, and
If that was the only thing I do, but as I was telling Steve, I'm also a commodities analyst, and my day starts about 4:30.
That's
So
awesome.
when the market's
So-
open,
I love the markets.
commodities.
I don't know much
They change
about-
every day.
I don't know the commodities as much as I know the stock market, but I follow it very closely. Yeah. So,
Yeah, it's fun stuff.
so tell me about. So, what's your role with the restaurant? I mean, with the brewery. Are you the president, or are you the brewer?
I'm one of the three co-owners, along with Bronco Sign and Tom Dzinski, and I've known those fellas for a very long time. Tom I've known from downtown in the commodities business. He's a CPA. I've known him for 35 years, and Bronco I met when I moved to Munster, and our kids were going to St. Thomas, and we coached basketball together for a while, and a couple of our kids were in the same class. So I've got some trusted co-owners.
Are you guys like all like actively involved, or like a couple of them step back, or?
There's a good diversity between the three of us, because I'm a little bit more on the beer side, and Bronco on the industrial side. So he's our chief operating officer when there's things that need addressing at the brewery.
Like what? Like supplies and
the forklift goes out,
Right.
Or a problem. We've just
wouldn't be a
recently
job
had some
for me.
challenges with maintenance with the boiler and that.
Gotcha.
And Bronco's all over that.
How
And
long of a dream was Byway, or at least a brewing company? I mean, you're doing it in your garage one day, and next thing you know, you're in this 20,000 square foot facility, or I don't even know how many thousand square foot it is. But
it's the current footprint is 10,000 square
Okay.
feet. So
10,000.
that's
Good
quite
guess.
a jump up from my buddy's garage in Munster, where we brewed for
10,000 is the whole restaurant and the brewery, or just the brewery?
the entire footprint.
Gotcha.
The tap room in the front, I think, is around 2,500 square feet, give or take. We got the kitchen, and then the whole production side on the back side, where we have our private events. But I started homebrewing at some brew on premise bop shops in Chicago back in the late 80s. And that evolved for a number of years, and then this one shop that closed down, and I'm like, what am I going to do now? I defaulted to going back to drinking Heineken. But as luck would have it, a young man that I drafted on a 15-year-old baseball team, and his father agreed to coach, a fellow, my good friend Cy Boney. He was a home brewer that was getting ready to hang it up previously, and I'm like, it was late in the game. Munster Field is like about 9 o'clock at night, and I don't know if we were up big or down big, but we were BSing at the end of the dugout late in the game, and out of nowhere he goes, "You know what? I think I'm going to give up my home brewing." And I turned to him like, "You home brew?" I just stopped home brewing downtown because the place closed. And so the Lord works in mysterious ways. By that next winter, we got together with a couple other good buddies, Ray Baker, Rusty Coons, and Mark Witropka, and we put together a kit. We built our own homebrewing kit in Cy's garage, and we started brewing our first batch in 20...
How much does it cost to do something like that in the garage?
Ooh.
Is it like, do you have multiple people involved? Is it because of cost?
Yeah.
Or
I think originally we each spent about $500.
That's not bad.
And we built our own kit, a one-barrel kit.
Was it good?
And well, we had some stuff that we had to choke down, but we got better over time.
Really?
And I'll tell you what, you're out in the garage, brewing beer, talking about brewing beer, drinking.
How long does it take to brew beer?
To brew a batch, it takes from start to finish and clean up in that, maybe about 6 or 7 hours.
Oh, that's not bad at
And
all.
then you got to wait a couple of weeks for fermentation.
So, this brewing, obviously, like microbrews and breweries and places to go and hang out and eat this great food just blew up, right, over the last probably 10 years, 15 years.
Yes.
Do you see it as a fad, or do you see it as something that's going to permanently be part of our American culture from here on out? Because some of them open and close.
Yeah.
A lot of them seem to, like you've been great and successful, and it seems like Byway's here to stay. I mean, what do you see as you move forward? Is this something that's going to change, or are you going to?
That's a great question. And economic cycles come and go, and you have growth periods and then slowdown periods, and the growth in craft breweries has certainly slowed. And so it was the heydays. The biggest part of the growth took place in the early 2000s, from roughly even from the late 90s until maybe 2010, 2012, and it continued to grow, but at a slower pace. I think they're always going to be around because of the demand for artisanal flavor, and this could go for beer, it could go for what they're doing with liquor these days. You can get different botanicals in gin and vodka.
That's true. People have gotten used to kind of a more refined taste for beer, or the different tastes. Like, I like IPAs, I like sours, I like ghosts, I like porters.
Absolutely. So I said to myself the other day, it's kind of been a while since I've had something that was like really wowed me. Like the great IPAs from 10 years ago. I mean, Three Floyds was a contributing factor to my buddies and my interest in home brewing. And the stuff they came out with years ago, and they're still coming out with great stuff, but that original stuff, Alpha King,
Right.
Phenomenal, right? No offense, but there's a lot of those types of beers now. It's not hard to find equally good
So
beers.
like you're saying, the wow factor is a little bit gone.
Right.
Because of the number of microbreweries, basically, right?
I mean, I haven't checked for a while, but the last time I checked, there was over 8,000.
And back when Three Floyds first came out, it was pretty much
That was it. Only
when my homebrewing buddies and I started conceiving this idea in 2012. I think by the time we really started putting a plan together in 2013, I think there were about 1,300 breweries, 1,500 breweries in the country. By the time we opened in Feb of 2016, there were over 3,000, and
Wow.
in the next couple of years, it ballooned to 8,000.
get out.
So think of the number of
600% increase, basically.
yeah. Think of the number of SKUs that are out there. Anyone who walks to a liquor store or Myers or someplace like that, there's just a zillion beers out
How
there.
hard is it to get your stuff into a place like the distributing companies, the North Shores, and what is the other one out in Valparaiso? I should know this.
Indiana
Indiana Beverage, right?
Yeah.
Great family, Leach family that runs that.
If you
Cal
have
Brewery, one of our sponsors.
Right.
if you have good beer and are committed to the whole sales and distribution process, it's not hard.
Okay.
But
So you guys Byway's out there, right?
We've taken a step back, and because of the number of SKUs out there and the cost benefit of distribution, it's in my opinion, it hasn't been as lucrative as it was during those growth days. I
Right.
mean, when there were 3,000 breweries, and you felt like you had a chance. Now you have to work so hard to get a handle somewhere, and then there's an infrastructural cost to doing that. So we've taken back.
But even cans, right? You know, because I know going into other breweries, you'll see like open can, like spare
Racks of
cans,
cans, yeah,
racks of
slightly,
cans
yeah.
just waiting there. And I'm not thinking about it. I don't really see that when I go to Byway. It's more like pitchers and
we're
glasses, right?
barrels.
We're about as fresh and hand to mouth as it gets.
Right.
And our inventory is lean, and we got a great brewer by the name of Mark Duco, who just won some really good awards, both at the Indiana Brewers Cup and the U.S. Open Championships
Nice.
in Ohio.
Really?
There's like 8,000 entries from all over the world.
Keeping
it's like
Hammond on the map, on
Yeah.
the brewing map.
How well do you get along with local brewers? I know 18th Street, yourself, Three Floyds. You guys all real close?
It's one of the things that it helped me want to be a part of this fraternity is that it's a tight community. I mean, we don't go out and have beers every Friday night, But Nick Floyd and Drew and all the other brewers, and their representatives, we see it at beer festivals all the time, and we run into each other, and the best we can. We're all busy, but the best we can, we frequent each other's places.
So you go into Three Flags or 18th Street, it's no big deal.
Oh no, not at all. I mean, when I have the time.
Right.
I mean, the closest brewery to my house is New Oberfalls down in
that's
Griffith.
great.
Yeah, another popular place.
And Gus out there.
That's great.
Hi Gus, if you're listening to this, I wish
love that place.
I wish I can get in more often than I do. I mean, it's like 7 minutes from my house.
But honestly, what I love about yours is the location to the bike trail. Is the bike trail huge for you? I mean, it's so easy to take the bike trail and just go to.
Yeah.
We do it all the time with our friends, and we go to Byway. It's always one of the stops. It's
especially during the summertime. I'll see people coming in and they pull up their bike, take their helmet off, go inside. And I'm like, how you have them come in, and I know you got to carb up a little bit, but how do you get back on a bike after that?
it's not easy.
Well, one of the things I think that is interesting to me is that Hammond's got two of the most popular and successful breweries in the area between 18th Street and Byway, and I guess I'm sure there was pressure on you to choose a more suburban area or maybe somewhere down south in the county, but you ended up in Hammond and right on the highway. And I was just curious as to why you picked Hammond, why you believed in what Mayor Tom was doing, and what his administration did to get you there.
That's a great question. And back between 2013 and 14. I think mainly, I'm losing track of time, but
I was trying to remember too. I think that's right.
We looked at. I grew up in Robertsdale section of Hammond, just by Forsyth Park. So,
nice.
And I'm close to
didn't know that.
In the Water Gardens?
No, up by where Vogel's used to
Yeah.
be.
Okay.
In fact, my mom used to work at Vogel's.
Get out of here! Wow,
Right down the alley.
awesome.
I live right behind 5 Points.
That's awesome. On which side? On the Wolf Lake side or
on the Forsyth Park side?
Gotcha.
On Brown Avenue.
Yeah.
So all my Brown Avenue buddies out there listening, and
That's
friends,
awesome. I love it up there. It's a beautiful part of town.
But it's all Robertsdale Whiting, and spent a lot of time in Whiting Park, and that was one of the places. The old Gun Club was one of the locations we looked at, and so I know people in the administration there. But we looked in Maryville, we looked in Cherryville, we almost went in Cherryville, off of the Boulevard. Where else? Griffith, Highland. We looked all over and met some great people. But the footprint and the structure that we were looking for and wanted to do, we didn't find any of those locations. And when we started talking with representatives in Hammond and the part of the location in Oxbow, that checked off one box. But the overriding factor was how receptive and helpful everyone in your administration
nice.
was, and y'all bent over backwards. In fact, on one of my Brown Avenue buddies in Whiting or Robertsdale, Don Novak was on your team at the time, and
I love Don. Miss him. He retired a couple years back. He's a great guy.
He's a few years older than I am, but his younger sister Pam and I were in the same class together. We used to walk to school together down Brown Avenue back in the day, and he was very helpful, very helpful.
Yeah, he's a great guy. That's awesome. We're lucky also because at the time we were working with another brewery that was stringing us along. When we met you guys were serious right off the bat, which was a relief to us because we had just got done toying with another company.
We had a couple of breweries that were in there.
But they were looking for a way larger footprint than you all took. And the thing that's been so successful about that development is you guys took a smaller footprint and allowed us to grow with 3 commercial buildings now. A third is under construction, 2 hotels, and another restaurant. And
another hotel under construction. So
and another hotel under construction.
Plus Buffalo Wild Wings.
That development is exploding, and you guys are a huge part of it. In fact, were you in the ground before B-Dubs? I'm trying to remember.
No,
B-Dubs
was there,
first.
and I think we were the second one in there.
Yeah, you were. Because, that's amazing.
Yeah, Dave, one of the things I think that also is so attractive about your place is the food. I mean, I'm not a huge beer guy.
Absolutely, Kevin.
I mean, I'll go in and I'll have a beer, but I really, really, really enjoy the food of your place. And it's been amazing since you opened.
Mm-hmm. And Brian Rance, our executive chef, has been there from day one.
Wow, that says something.
He and our general manager, Phil Sine, they worked together previously at a restaurant in Crown Point. And Brian was ready to make the jump. He was previously at Gambas. Spent some time there.
No wonder it's so good.
And
Gama's a great restaurant too.
We just gave Brian the keys and said, here,
Dave,
create.
It's really great.
The OG burger might be one of the best burgers in the area.
What is it? I want to say
The
poutine.
Oh, the poutine's great.
Delicious.
Poutine's
Marissa,
unbelievable.
honestly, Marissa and Patrick will eat like a whole thing of that.
Delicious.
Like, easy. Oh, it's amazing. And like I like the spicy chicken you guys have is spectacular. And
Well,
you guys did an event a couple weeks ago at the Challenger. That was so good. The
at the
appetizers,
Sportsplex. It was actually at the Sportsplex.
appetizers were unbelievable. Like, I'm not just saying that because you're on air, Dave. Like, they were really. I was like, who did this? And they said it was Byway. I was like, of course it was Byway.
Dave brought some notes.
Well, since you brought it up, there's a couple of things that
Get us hungry for lunch.
Wanted to mention for a plug, but along the line of foods. And earlier I talked about the artisanal nature of the craft brewing business. That has spawned artisanal creation in a lot of other areas. Stuff like olive oil and bread making, all the stuff that our grandparents used to make that kind of got lost in the 80s and 90s, that kind of stuff is coming back, and it's awesome. And Brian Rance, our chef, has taken that to that next degree. And we weren't just going to offer burgers and wings, regular burgers and wings, and he has the expertise to pull it off, and that just fits into it. And with our private events, that's just the model that we wanted to carve out to go with our craft beer. So next Thursday, November 11th, Veterans Day, we have a beer and food pairing. And I think there's only a few tickets left. It's for.
How can people do if they want to do it?
You can go to our website. There's a link there to get order tickets online.
Nice.
And the website is
bywaybrewing.beer.
Wow.
.beer.
.beer.
What the heck?
Get
That's
that, John?
awesome.
Why don't we have a cool
Yeah,
like
John, what the hell?
lockpod.pod or something?
Lockpod would be great.
LLCPOD.pod.
What the hell? Like, John does nothing with this. I mean, let's just be honest. See, John's gonna
John's
cut my
busy
microphone
buying
out.
tickets right now.
For the record, you can't just. There's like not every word you can end a freaking website with. Okay.
Apparently, .beer is
happens
available.
to be
though.
one. I don't know if .podcast is around yet, but chat will let us know. I'm sure. Anyway, it's
Google
up here on the screen now.
Nice.
Dave.
Look at that.
All right.
And it's only for 30 people. We'll have it in our production side.
So
and
the
I
food's
think there's
gonna
only a few tickets left.
So is it? It's a dinner too. So you will walk out of there full, right?
Well, it's a 5-course meal.
Oh, good.
It starts off with lobster naan. It's a butter poached lobster, chili soy mayo, preserved lemon, frisee, fried Fresno, and radish. Now that's going to be paired with our brewer Mark Duco brewed a beer match with each course. That
Nice.
first course is
Challenge
going to
for-
be paired with a Shilling Scottish ale, chestnut brown,
There you
thick
go,
cream
Joe.
white head, roasting
anything
sweet
about
caramel
that either.
notes to go along with the lobster. The second course, lamb loin, sweet pea, buckwheat griddle cakes, and sweet sesame maple with the lamb
I'm
loin.
in.
Sounds good.
We're pairing that.
Tickets are going fast. And you can just sign up and let's just say, even if you don't go to the pairing, right? Every day, food's good. It's available.
Right.
Lunch through close.
Right.
How'd you guys, with the pandemic and all that, how'd you guys, was obviously rocked your world, I imagine, right? It was not shortly after you opened, but, in your build-up time. You were just named Brewery of the Year, if I remember correctly, right before the pandemic.
Our first year, 2016, we were open, which was quite
Okay.
the humbling surprise.
Yeah, it was awesome.
But last year, there wasn't any company that was immune. We had to close down for about 10 weeks where I'm still shocked and extraordinarily humbled at our customers that continue to support us by ordering takeout from us. And I believe that happened with most restaurants. I'd like to believe that it happened, but I know for a fact it happened with us. And still to this day, we'll never forget that. And that helps.
Is your
us keep
takeout
it
business
afloat.
still pretty big, or people slow
Bigger
down?
than pre-pandemic, I guess would be the big question.
No, we always had a takeout business, but it exploded for obvious reasons when we were closed, and even for a while thereafter. It has slowed. I can't tell you how much. We still get takeout, but not the necessity isn't there for those who
Yeah.
just don't want to step out yet.
That's great. Well, listen, Dave, we appreciate you coming in. I
Yeah.
just want to let you give a
Interesting.
plug to the website and to Byway again if you want to go ahead and announce that.
I would like to say one last thing
Yeah.
about next Thursday, where we're having this food and beer pairing. It's also Veterans Day.
Yeah.
We're offering 50% off our food, any food for any veterans that come in.
There you go.
Is it the honor
Mayor
system?
Tom, you can...
Because honestly, I run into this a lot, and I say I'm a veteran. They said, "Do you have any proof?" I'm like, "No, I don't have any proof." What, do I have a tattoo or something?
Show us
right?
a scar.
I know, right? It's like it's just
Well,
honor system. I imagine.
Yeah,
right?
I can't believe there'd be many people that come in and say they want 50% off because they're a veteran and not.
I hope not. We would
that
hope
would be-
not. Society's got
I
to
am
be
a
better
veteran,
than
though,
that.
Dave. I just want to point that out before I get there. So
Well, pop
Ready? You
in
got the
and
hat to
get
prove
half
it.
off.
You got the hat to prove it.
I do have the hat to prove it. Thank you
what's
so
the
much.
what's the price of December corn? If you're right now, test you on your commodities.
I want to say it's roughly trading around $5.60 a bushel.
There you go.
It's been kind of constructive of late, and ultimately, I think it's going to stay up here and trade higher into next year.
There's your commodities for
Thanks.
the day. Thanks,
You're,
Dave.
you're
Dave Toth, Byway
Lockpod
Brewing.
commodities expert. So.
Well, thanks very much, fellas.
Thanks, Dave. It's great to see you. By the way, thank you for sponsoring Lockpod. We appreciate it
Yeah,
very
absolutely.
much.
Appreciate
Our pleasure. It's been
Yeah.
fun to do so.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
So
Anyway, that's been a great show. I appreciate Dave coming in. Byway Brewing. It's right there at Kennedy Avenue exit on 107, right off Kennedy and 8094 South exit. So it's a great restaurant. It's a great brewery. Make sure
Go
you
get
stop
some
by.
food too.
And I wanted to say thanks again. Welcome back from Scotland to Jill. It's great to see you.
Yay.
Yeah, and thanks for the scotch. I'm going to bring it home to my beautiful bride.
You're
See you, Dave.
welcome.
Thank you. Jay
Dave,
Vez.
stick around. We want to say a few words after. We'll catch up with you. Stick around. Yeah.
Jay Vez, thanks a lot. It's great to see you back from Boyne. It's He's like,
I know.
He
He's
doesn't,
very quiet today.
he doesn't,
welcome.
he
He's
doesn't
like, I've got a podcast to upload.
he doesn't take criticism very well. I've
Did we
noticed that.
critique him? Oh,
I
about
did.
the
I was
dot
messing with
pod.
him. I was messing with him.
Yeah.
He gets
You're
pissy.
welcome, guys. You're welcome.
He gets
Glad I'm
pissy
here.
about stuff.
He's
like
cutting
that.
us off like right
Oh
now.
yeah, I'm surprised. But anyway, Kev, great to see you again.
Yes,
And
sir.
Don't correct me in real time anymore, please. I appreciate
not
that.
to.
And of course, coming from the locomotive, good to see you all. And it's great for a pop by the boss, Steve Kellogg. It's good to see you, Steve. And thanks for listening to Lockpod. Happy birthday to Laura, our super fan. Happy late birthday, and make sure on Friday to tune in for another live episode. Good to see you all. Take care.